Ripple did not flip the switch yet. So in this video, I want to explain where we are at with this Ripple stablecoin. The rumors and speculation were swirling this weekend as XRP price was going up, and it did break out of that 7-year trend line consolidation that we've been in. But we were wondering, what's going on here? Did they go live? They minted some, I think nearly 1 million stablecoins. We're going to give you the update here on what's really going on with the stablecoin, where we're at in the markets. As you can see, the backlight is not green. We are back down today, so we turned it red. I want to provide a quick update, and I appreciate everybody for stopping by. By the way, I'm planning on maybe going live here in a little bit here when Jerome Powell is set to speak at 10:55 my time, PST. And so that's 1:55, basically 2 Eastern, is when Jerome Powell is going to be going to the podium for a speech. And so the market kind of back down a little bit here today, but we also just, I was just reading this on my phone actually. Fed's Bostic says he is open to another 50 bips interest rate cut in November, so another 50 basis points. This is Fed's Bostic. So we got one Fed spokesperson already hitting it this morning, leading us up into Jerome Powell coming up here. Now, if he's open to another 50 basis, that's an acknowledgement that it's not going quite as well as we'd like it to. It's pretty bad out there. So to go for another 50, that's a pretty dramatic move. 2 back-to-back 50-point rate cuts, I think is an acknowledgement that they, even though the fight against inflation is not over, they know the economy's bad, and so they need to come in here, which is part of an opening up of a broader liquidity cycle that gets me excited about this investment opportunity. But I want to get right on into it, folks, so let's get started here. When we're taking a look here, Chinese stocks soar as much as 6.5% today, the biggest gain in nearly a decade. And this was last night before I went to bed, 10 o'clock, when I saved this one for us this morning. I don't know where the market finished off, but China's stock market rallying, and the word on the street is that we got a bunch of hedge funds over there that were shorting China, going long Japan, shorting China, and they're getting themselves caught in an ugly trade, and that's starting to unwind. So we talked about the Japan carry trade unwind. Well, this is an unwind of folks that were going long Japan, long other assets, and then we're actually going short China stocks. And so they've caught themselves in a little deal there. And this is obviously the response to their central bankers saying that not only were they going to cut rates, they were going to provide liquidity for existing homeowners. I think they were cutting by 1%. So if you have an existing mortgage in China through one of the state-backed banks or mortgage lenders, however they have it set up, they were dropping the rate by, I think, 1 percentage point, or 1%, 1 full percent. So if your rate was 5%, they're cutting it down to 4%. They're injecting more liquidity, and the stock market is rallying because of it. Now, what's interesting is that back here, we're starting to see our markets rallying too, off the expectation that the Fed's going to cut rates significantly between now and next year. And I think the problem with this rally, where we find ourselves vulnerable, is that there's still plenty of black swan scenarios. There's still a World War III. There's still a lot of bad things happening here back home in the United States. We got hit by the storm. We got a port strike. The economic data is actually not that strong if you know how to actually decode it and go past the mainstream media headlines. But nonetheless, a little bump, it all leads to either a Trump pump or even just a Kamala pump, just based off of us, having certainty once again. I think the big thing right now is that there's just no sense of certainty. No one knows what's going to happen between not just now and the election, but between now and when a new administration would take office, right? So we'll continue to keep you guys updated on that, but I wanted to get right on into XRP. This is from Vincent Van Code. Definitely something is up with XRP. I haven't seen this many buy orders in Binance order books in ages. Market is super confident case will be over. RLUSD will unlock new markets. Japan adoption will lead the way. If you're still sitting on the sidelines eating popcorn doing nothing, wow, I suppose you'll change your mind at $5. Which is funny how that works, right? I had folks in the comments yesterday saying now they're buying XRP, and which, I honestly, I want to buy some more XRP right now too, just because I always want more XRP. And it does appear like we're leading up to the XRP lawsuit grand finale, is what I'm calling this moment, right? The XRP lawsuit grand finale. And maybe they will appeal and it'll go on. And I'm telling you right now, and I explained this in my Discord group call on Saturday, how and why I am hedged against an SEC appeal, and I'm also hedged against World War III black swan scenarios. So that's why I'm hedged. And I, shared with my Discord how I'm hedged, which is very simple. I'm in cash and also in precious metals. But mostly the hedge against this is having cash on the sidelines for liquidity if we do get any sort of correction. Because anything that we do get, I think, is going to be temporarily short-lived before we, basically pump it back up and open up this broader liquidity cycle. Now, in regards to pumping XRP, these other assets, what we've talked about on my channel in the past is how market cap is just one metric and it only shares you one part of the story. And it actually leads to folks having false expectations of how big or how small a market really is. And so Chad Steingraber shared this tweet, and I thought it was so spot on because it kind of reiterates my point about how market cap, it's a metric that you can use, but you need to understand what data it's spitting out. What's the result that it's giving you? So Chad says, I'm going to show you in one post how much new net money inflows are needed in XRP to move the price. Now, then another term for this is a market cap multiplier, where basically you look at how much money comes into an asset versus how much does the market cap grow. And how market cap is not a true indicator of how much money is in the actual market. For the week, a net new inflow of just 800,000 was injected into XRP. That caused XRP's market cap to go from 32.61 billion to 37.35 billion. That's a 4.74 billion market cap increase based on 800,000 net inflows over the course of a week. Now imagine billions of dollars of new money being injected into XRP every single day. And this is the chart right here that he shared from CoinShares, flows by asset. And you can see on the weekly flows right here, you come on down to XRP, it's at 0.8. And this is in the millions. So we got 800,000 net inflows into XRP led to an increase in market cap from 32.61 to 37.35, $4.74 billion in market cap off of $800,000 of net inflows. Do you understand how much of a joke these markets are? One, how projects spoof their trading volume to boost up their market cap. And you think, oh yeah, and look at the crypto space. We all thought there was 3 trillion market cap at the all-time highs last bull run, right? Were we able to all pull $3 trillion cash out of the market? No, and you never will be. That's not how the market works. And that's why market cap is kind of a misleading data point, an indicator of how much money is actually in a market. It's how much money you think is in a market. It's one perception. And perception can be reality, but in this case, try playing that reality out and see how it goes, right? So this is the point. If $800,000 of net inflows into XRP was able to move it by 4.74 billion in market cap, and folks are all worried about, I saw somebody yesterday, it would take 170 billion market cap for XRP to go to $5 or whatever they said. And I'm thinking, wow. If it's that little, you're making me feel more bullish on XRP. 170 billion. The market cap of Ripple's stablecoin could easily go up to 150, 200 billion over the course of the next few years, competing with Tether and Circle. Right? So only 170 billion market cap, but it doesn't take that much of inflows, and that's where people get hung up on market cap, and where they're false in kind of their understanding of how market cap applies to these assets, right? If you think that XRP can't go to $100 because that would be a 5 trillion market cap or whatever the math is, I'm not doing it off the top of my head here, but it's not 5 trillion needs to come into XRP. It's a small fraction of that needs to flow into the asset for the market cap to appreciate that much. So please understand that. And, we got to move for XRP up to 66 cents. We're going to take a look at the charts here right now before I show you the final point of today's episode. 63,600 right now for Bitcoin. So the whole market, including the stock market, precious metals, Bitcoin, and including XRP. Now, I was warning about this because this is what always happens. We get a run up in price. We get a normal pullback, a healthy pullback where we're still actually above the trend line. So as long as we can hold that, the monthly close is coming in. And if we can get the monthly close today still above that 62 cent level, that's a pretty good sign, right? Now, that was the highest weekly close that we got last week, last night, was the highest weekly close that we had this year. We haven't closed this high since last year for XRP. So we did flip into strength, but we get a normal, healthy pullback. And I already know that folks are going to be saying, oh, Ripple's dumping on us. It's the first of the month. That's not the case. In fact, if you go look, most of the time the price actually rises after that first of the month escrow release. But folks look at the short-term price action on a 5-minute chart. Oh, Ripple is dumping on us. We get a healthy pullback like we get here today on all of the markets. All of the markets are pulling back right now. But when we talk about XRP, folks will, try to FUD the heck out of this thing as much as possible, right? Even though it's just a healthy pullback with the rest of the market to 62 cents. We still are looking at this monthly close here today. That's going to give us good data. It's also the 3-month close, and then we'll be starting Q4. Now, Ripple stablecoin is set to go live here at any moment, but please understand that Ripple has not flipped the switch yet. As I titled this episode, Ripple has not flipped the switch yet. RLUSD is still in private beta, and while you may see on-chain activity, it's not available yet. Beware of anyone claiming to distribute RLUSD. So stay safe out there, guys. Lots of scams. I'm going to be doing another episode, another video, urging the community to stay vigilant, warning the community about the different types of scams. But there's already a bunch of scams being ran now for Ripple stablecoin. There's a bunch of impersonators of me. I will not send you a DM. I will not message you. The only place to reach out to me is at ZachRector.com. And we need to be careful right now, because it's not just the scams that are running right now. As XRP appreciates, more scammers are going to come out of the woodworks to offer you a deal. I call them the I got a deal bros. We got the crypto bros, we got the Bitcoin bros. These are the I got a deal bro. And everybody and their brother is going to come out and they're going to have a deal with you after XRP pumps. Whether they want to, they're going to give you yield doing this, they're going to give you yield doing that, they're going to promise you yield and not even be able to explain where the yield's coming from. And in that case, the yield's probably going to be you. So please stay safe out there. Lots of scams. And just to set the record straight, Ripple has not gone live with the stablecoin yet, but we're watching on-chain activity. They're printing real RLUSD. It's just that they're playing around with it in private testing, and they've moved it to other wallets. This has been the interesting part. And the cool thing about blockchain is we're able to watch all these transactions, but they're moving them to different wallets that they don't have a connection to. Someone even showed a connection to a Binance wallet, suggesting that maybe, these exchanges are getting ready to list RLUSD, and that's where you're going to get it from. You will not be able to buy RLUSD from Ripple yourself unless you're an institution or an accredited investor that works up a deal with Ripple. But it's only going to be sold to institutions and exchanges, and then the exchanges will then offer it for us to be able to purchase RLUSD. But it is not live and available for us yet. Anybody claiming that they have RLUSD for you is scamming you. And let's just watch this closely. They're getting ready to flip the switch. They just haven't done it yet. So if you appreciate our updates, you guys know what to do. Smash that thumbs up for me. And come on back here in a little bit at 10:55 PST. That's going to be 1:55 Eastern. Come on back. Let's go. Let's watch Jerome Powell give his take on the economic outlook of our economy. Do we have more rate cuts on the way? Is he going to pump this thing up? We're going to be covering all that and more in the live stream here, starting up in about an hour or so. We'll see you there. God bless you all. Thank you so much.